April 15, 1912. The night the Titanic disappeared beneath the Atlantic Ocean. More than 1,500 lives lost. It became the greatest maritime disaster in history. But what if history had taken a different turn? What if Titanic never sank? Or worse, what if the ship that went down wasn't Titanic at all? This is the alternative history of Titanic. Titanic was the pride of human engineering, the largest ship of its time, but arrogance called her unsinkable. When the iceberg struck at 11:40 p.m., only 20 lifeboats stood ready for over 2,000 passengers. Less than 3 hours later, Titanic was gone.
Listen, Ismay, the Titanic did not sink into the abyss. It lies off the coast of New York, almost intact. Times are tough. We'll restore it and put it in service of the Crown. The authorities in America will surely agree.
But sir, it is still a liner. Luxurious, sure, but not a warship.
We will make it a warship. We'll cut the balustrades, install cannons, armor the sides, and we'll have a flagship that no one expected to see. It'll become a symbol.
I didn't think its resurrection would be so loud.
What is not like silence, Mr. Ismay? Raise the Titanic.
But with what?
With cranes, Mr. Ismay. With cranes.
The disaster forced the world to rethink maritime safety forever. Now, imagine an alternate timeline. The lookouts spot the iceberg early. Captain Edward Smith maneuvers just in time. Titanic arrives safely in New York, celebrated as a miracle of modern engineering. But without tragedy, lifeboat reforms and iceberg patrols might never have been created. Another ship, years later, could have faced the same fate, perhaps with even more deaths. On board Titanic were some of the richest men of the age: John Jacob Astor, Isidor Straus, Benjamin Guggenheim. Alternative historians suggest their deaths weren't an accident. They argue the sinking benefited powerful banking interests who opposed these men. Could the tragedy have been sabotage? Official history says no, but the whispers never truly faded. If Titanic never sank, the world might look very different. Ocean liners would dominate travel for decades. Airplanes might not have risen so quickly. Or imagine Titanic still sailing today, rebuilt with radar, sonar, and modern engines, preserved as a floating museum of history. If you enjoyed this journey into alternative history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories. And special credits to Clipper Flipper for their incredible contribution. The world knew Titanic as a floating palace of luxury. But imagine an alternative history, where Titanic wasn't a passenger liner, but a mighty warship built for battle. At 882 feet long, Titanic would have been the largest warship of its age. An iron giant armed with heavy guns, torpedo defenses, and steel armor thicker than any cruiser. A fortress at sea, designed not for luxury, but for domination. Had Titanic entered service as a battleship, she would have sailed into World War I as a symbol of unstoppable power. Her speed and size could rival the greatest dreadnoughts, striking fear into enemies across the Atlantic. But even as a warship, Titanic's fate might not have changed. A single torpedo, an unexpected mine, or even the same icy waters of the North Atlantic could have ended her voyage. Because no matter how powerful, no ship is truly unsinkable.